Hi, my name is Mallory Morse, and I'm a second-year dental student at Columbia University College of Dental Medicine. Well, I would say that my experience at Columbia isn't really made up of single memorable moments and more just a track record of really great memories being formed with the people around me. For example, when I started at Columbia, we had our white coat ceremony, which was kind of our first initiation as a class into the dental profession. And not only were we there together for the first time, but we were there with our future professors, with our friends and family, and kind of that momentum of us all being together, progressing through the dental profession has really just been a continuous stream throughout my dental school career. I can think about that. I can think about our class, taking an exam together, or our class all, going to our annual formal together. I mean, it's just a string of memories that were formed with the people around us, our professors, our friends, our colleagues, our mentors. So that's what I would say is kind of the most memorable thing about being here. Well, so I had a plethora of research experience prior to coming to dental school. I did research as an undergraduate student, and it was always something that I was really passionate about. So when I was looking for a dental school, finding one where research opportunities were multiple and available was one of my main priorities. And when I interviewed at Columbia, I learned that they had all of these amazing opportunities. So when I got here, I sought out the William Jarvie Research Society, which is our Columbia student group that coordinates research for students, and I'm actually going to be the president of that group next year. And through that group, I found out about the Columbia Summer Research Fellowships, which is an amazing opportunity where around 20 students are able to apply and receive funding to research over the summer. So not only are we able to do research, but we're able to get paid for it, which is not super easy when you're a dental student. And not only does Columbia have the opportunities, there's also so many well-established networks of connecting with mentors. The Jarvie Research Society publishes a mentor handbook that has mentor names, their projects, previous students that have worked with them. There's information online about what the mentors are researching, what they're looking for, what projects they have, and every single professor is so approachable. I emailed 3 professors, all 3 of them emailed me back, and I had a meeting with them within a week to talk about their research. They spent an hour with me, just a humble first-year dental student, willing to talk with me about their labs and what opportunities they had for me. And so not only at Columbia do we have funding and opportunities and fellowships and applications, but we have the people that not only want to do the research, but want to do research with students. All right, well, so I ended up deciding to do research with Millie Embray, and when I met with her for the first time, I was struck by how passionate, ambitious, and energetic she was. Not only does she love the research that she personally does, her research is very near and dear to her heart, and she has spent so many hours on her field, but she really wants to inspire that same passion in other people. She wants them to be interested in what she's doing and in the discoveries that she's making. And not only does she want you to be passionate about her science, she wants you to be passionate about science in general. She wants to make dental students into dentist scientists. And that's what I was really interested in when I first met with her. Right, well, I think that right now, dentistry is changing, and it has been changing for a while. And what we need in the future is we need more dentists that are able to incorporate science and evidence-based practices into their work. And I'm not sure in the future what the future will hold for me. Will I be a scientist full-time? Will I have my own lab? I'm not sure. And I'm still really trying to work that out. I'm only a second-year student after all. But I know that no matter what, the training that I've had in research here so far and with Dr. Embray has allowed me to have the tools to incorporate science into my practice. If I'm an oral surgeon in the future, I know that if a paper comes out about some new biologic technique to use in my patients, I'll be able to really understand the research and if it actually is something that I should use on my patients. Whether or not some new thing is actually going to benefit my patients that I'm caring for. And I think that that's really what I'm getting out of research right now. And we'll see in the future how much it, maybe I'll have my own lab one day. We'll see. At least that's what Dr. Embray wants me to do. I think what inspires me kind of changes based on what I'm doing, but I think in general what inspires me is kind of pursuit of knowledge. I really like learning new things every single day, and I like gaining knowledge and feeling mastery of a subject that I've studied. And I think that in dental school and being a dentist, you have to be a lifelong learner. There's always new things that you need to be able to evaluate if they're good and if they're going to help your patients. So you always need to be learning new techniques. And then in research, the pursuit is to discover new knowledge. So of course that's going to inspire me. And in talking about my family and my friends, you know, pursuing to know more about the people that you're forming relationships with, I think that also inspires me. So I guess, like, you know, it's kind of hard to answer the question of what inspires you, but I guess that's what I can do right now. I decided I wanted to become a dentist watching my dad practice as a general dentist back in Texas, where I'm from. As a young kid growing up, I saw my dad. He loved his practice, he loved his patients, he loved what he did every day, and I wanted to be just like him. And kind of as I grew up, as I kind of came into myself more as a person, I knew I loved science, I knew I loved technology, I loved art, and I thought that dentistry could really combine all three together and not only be something that I personally enjoyed, but also would help other people. So that's kind of what initially drew me into dentistry, and then the more I learned about the field, the more I knew that it was something that I was passionate about. I love working with my hands, I love helping people, and I love the scientific aspect of it. So I think that it really combines all of my native interests. And then I think something that I didn't really realize that I would love about dentistry was also dental research. I love the research topics that dentistry is exploring right now, from, you know, dental materials, pulp biology, TMJ, diseases and trauma. We're kind of like looking at a really wide scope of human disease, and I think that that's a really interesting facet of dentistry that often goes unnoticed. You know, I think it's really hard. So I think a lot of people out in the public have this idea of dentists as technicians. We're there to see a patient, see a cavity, or caries as we call them, and just drill it and fill it and be done. And I think people are really starting to, well, I think that dentists are starting to understand that the status of your teeth is not it. We're really looking at oral health, and the way that teeth interact with the entire body is something that was really coming to the forefront, and not just in the field of dentistry, but also in the field of medicine overall. You know, we're learning now that the bacteria that cause periodontal disease can be in the bloodstream and can affect heart disease. We're learning that, you know, it's something around 40% of women have severe debilitating pain from TMJ, trauma, and disease. And we don't really know what to do about that. And dentists are poised to be the ones to kind of take control of all these issues that we're learning, you know, due to the interaction of oral health and systemic health. And so I think that if I had to explain to my friend like what dentists are doing besides drilling and filling, I would say to, you know, think about their own lives. How many times have they been to a dentist? Probably a lot. And they probably don't really know what would happen if they didn't go to a dentist. And so I think there's a lot more going on in dentistry than people realize, but I think that's what we're here for. Here at Columbia, we're here to be like the next future of dentists that not only are drilling and filling, but we're also educating our patients about oral health. So the AADR is the American Association of Dental Research, and every year there's an AADR annual conference where kind of the head dental researchers from all over the country come together to present and discuss work. And the AADR hosts an award called the Hatton Award, where they invite dental students, master's students, doctoral students, postdoc students to submit abstracts and be evaluated. And from that, people are selected to give an oral presentation, and from those oral presentations, someone is selected as a winner. And this year I had the distinct privilege of winning, and what was kind of fascinating about it is not just that I won or that I presented my research well, or, you know, I'm obviously happy to get my research out in the world, but kind of looking back on the process, I'm just stunned at how little I could have done this by myself. When I submitted my abstract and found out I was selected as a finalist, Dr. Embray looked at me and said, "Mallory, you're going to win this year, and I'm going to make sure that happens." And she couldn't have been more honest, because not only did she help edit my extended abstracts and edit my presentation and went over every word that was on my poster, but we also met every day for 2 weeks straight, rehearsing my presentation over and over again. And she was like, "No, you have to get the phrasing exactly right. It's all about how you present your research. The pictures don't mean anything if you don't explain them." And she just helped me so much. And I know that I could never have won without her. And what that means to me is that I have someone that's supporting me and that's going to put their own life and career and whatever they're doing on hold for my own success. But what it also means to me is that my mentor cares about the success of her students and the success of the people that she's fostering. And I think what it also means to me, in order for me to have this opportunity, is it means that I'm beginning to understand more about how to communicate my research, how to communicate my findings, and kind of the importance of that. Being in a lab by yourself pipetting means nothing if you can't tell the world about what you're doing. And I've gained an appreciation of those kind of skills from this entire experience. So I just have to say that I'm incredibly fortunate and really excited about the direction our lab's going in and kind of the validation we've received by getting this award for all of us. So for the Hatton competition, you submit an abstract. And of course, Dr. Embry helped me edit my abstract. I submitted it, and I found out that I was going to be a finalist in the Hatton competition and give an oral presentation. And I saw this email and was like, oh wow, I have to submit a 6-page long extended abstract. I have to give a 10-minute oral presentation. How am I going to do all this by myself? I sent her the email, I sent her a text, and she said, come meet me tomorrow. Went to her office, she looked right at me and said, listen, Mallory, you are going to win this competition and I'm going to make sure it happens. The lab is going to make sure it happens. We're going to make you win. And from that moment, she not only helped me organize my data, she helped edit every word I wrote. She also had me practicing my oral presentation every day, 2 weeks straight. Actually, that was one of the weeks that we had a snow day. And so we had a 2-hour-long phone conversation to go over my presentation again, even on a day when the clinics and school were closed. So obviously she wanted me to win for her lab, for the success of our research, but she also wanted me to win. She wanted to support me as her student and see me be successful, which is just, I'm so privileged to have that experience.